Morning, everybody. Some breaking news now. A terror attack in Israel, the aftermath after police take down a Palestinian man in Tel Aviv who went on a rampage on board a city bus there. More than a dozen being treated after he was pulled out. The man pulled out a knife and started slashing passengers. 4 of them now seriously wounded. It is breaking news, and it is where we start this morning. I'm Bill Hemmer, and good morning here on America's Newsroom. Morning, Martha.
Everybody. Good morning, Bill. I'm Martha McCallum. So the bus went out of control on the streets when the man stabbed the bus driver before hopping off and trying to escape. Now learning that the man shouldn't have been in the city at all.
John Huddy live in Jerusalem watching this. What else do we know about the attacker? Who was he? What was his motive?
Well, Bill and Martha, we know that he was from the West Bank, and as you mentioned, he slipped into Israel illegally earlier this morning, then made his way to Tel Aviv. And by the way, this attack happened at the start of the morning rush hour commute, so there were a lot of people aboard the bus, including school children. But first, take a look at the surveillance video. It's pretty dramatic. It shows the 23-year-old Palestinian man after jumping off the bus and trying to escape, and you can see in the upper part of the screen, he stabs a woman in the back while running away before being shot by prison guards who just happened to be driving by and noticed that the bus was moving erratically. It was swerving before stopping abruptly. And that's when, as you mentioned, the man jumped off the bus and they realized that numerous people had been stabbed. The prison guards chased after him before opening fire, shooting the man in the leg. And at this point, Bill and Martha, he is in police custody.
And John, are we clear on the motive again at this moment?
Well, Bill, he's still being questioned. The reports that we're getting is that he was angry. He says he was angry about the war in Gaza and also problems at the Temple Mount here in Jerusalem, where there have been clashes between Palestinians and police over access to the holy site. But the concern at this point, Bill and Martha, is that this isn't the first and may not be the last so-called lone wolf attack. We've heard this term used not only here in Israel, but also back in the United States, describing a person who's not necessarily affiliated with any particular group or terror organization for that matter, but is acting alone in these types of attacks. And remember, Bill and Martha, there have been other incidents, including deadly incidents, involving stabbings in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem, and also vehicles being driven into crowds of people. So once again, another disconcerting situation here.
Breaking news there, John Huddy on it in Jerusalem. John, thank you for that.
All right, we have more breaking news today. This as Yemen's president is being held captive by rebels in his own presidential palace. Shiite militants seizing the home yesterday in the capital of Sana'a as we learn that President Abed Hadi was still inside and is still inside the residence, according to the reports. One Yemeni presidential advisor saying that after months of fighting and truces, Yemen has reached a, quote, point of no return. Adding the military has been crippled by these rebel groups. Very volatile situation in a country that the president once claimed was a good example of how things are turning up for the better in the Middle East. More on that coming up.